In every war, but in Yemen war, there is no heroes. We only have criminals and victims. Each side, they try to present themselves as heroes, but they are all involved in violations, and they are committing violations against human rights. And if you know, Yemen now is controlled by two authorities. One authority is in Sana'a, which is Ansar Allah armed group, Houthis, and the second authority is in Aden by Hadi government, the President Hadi government. But if you just get closer to Yemen, that you will see that Sana'a and Aden is controlled by militias. And two, we don't have a shape of state, not in Sana'a and not in Aden. Beside the Saudi-led coalition, the Saudi Emirati-led coalition, that they are just committing horrible violations. Now today we will concentrate on the press, freedom of press in Yemen. In this situation, I will start from September 2014, because before 2014, September 2014, the situation was not perfect. The situation of media, freedom of press was not perfect, but at least we had some space to express. We had different TV channels, newspapers. There was violations, but not as much as we have it now. When Houthis, they controlled Sana'a in 2014, one of the first things they started to do, just attacking the media centers. They closed many media centers, whether they are just belong to al-Islah party or other media centers. They stopped newspapers, they blocked websites, and also until today they are still detaining 17 journalists in Sana'a. We as Muadana have done whatever we can do to release these journalists, but they have never been released. They were at the beginning forcibly disappeared, and then they could contact their families, but they are still detained until today. And one of them, he is about 60 years old, more than 60 years old. He was transferred suddenly to the court, and with a trial of 15 minutes, the verdict was death penalty. Now, we used to have newspapers. We used to go to the street to buy newspaper, but now in Yemen, I don't know if people just still go to the shops to buy newspaper. There is no newspaper, only one color. The TV channels, only one color. It's only whether al-Masira or al-Yemen al-Yawm, Saleh and Houthi channels. In the south also there are violations against journalists and media. In the south and in ties by the other groups, by Hadi government and even the armed groups that are under Hadi government. Muatana documented less violations or less incidents regarding the violations against press of freedom under Hadi government, but it's not because there is a space of freedom. It's just because there is no channels, no newspapers also, and there is no space to express different opinion in these areas. Even torture was experienced by these Indian authorities, especially Houthi authority against journalists in Sana'a. As Mr. Khalid said also, even for those journalists who's trying to come to Yemen, it's very difficult for them to come. They have to take the permission from Saudis, they have to take the permission from Houthis, and they have to take the permission from Hadi government, and then in most of the cases they don't take the permission from any of these authorities. So we have this tragedy in Yemen, this situation which is really bad, but it is not covered because none of the parties to the conflict are ready to make it covered by journalists or even human rights activists. we as Muwatana are facing a lot of difficulties in our work to document these violations, but until now we are trying to fight to have the space to continue our work. We keep on calling for the international independent inquiry for human rights, which we keep with every session in September, keep hoping that this committee will be formed, and then from a year to another year this committee was not formed. And whenever it is not formed, we just consider it as a green line for these groups to make more violations. We believe that such independent committee for inquiry will make difference in Yemen, especially in Yemen, because in Yemen there is a balance of weakness between all the parties to the conflict, and they can be pushed by the international community, and they can be changed, and they do care about this inquiry. We just observe how do they do, and every September they keep watching the Human Rights Council here in Geneva, and they just do like a little bit pause on the violations, keep on just watching if this committee is gonna be formed or not. And whenever this session just go on with not forming this international independent committee, they go with more violations. They feel they have the green light of violations because there is no accountability. We as human rights defenders, we believe that by showing the human price of this war, we are participating in stopping this war. The suffering of Yemeni people will not stop unless this war is stopped. But even if this war was not stopped, there are many violations that should be stopped, even if the war is continued. And all the political parties to the conflict should respect the international humanitarian law and the international law for human rights. We're trying to push in this way. It's very difficult, but we still have the space to do it. I will just stop here, and if you have questions, I will just leave it.